All right, for those of you who don't know me yet, I am Kimberly Crow. I am the founder of Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel and the co-host of Speakers Playhouse. Speakers Playhouse is the best 90 minutes of your week. It happens every Thursday. That's today at 10:30 a.m. PST to noon PST. And every single week, it's a free event. It's fun. It's goofballery. It is extremely fast-paced. And we bring to you all kinds of stage opportunities. So if you're looking for podcasts, radio shows, TV shows, web summits, I'm going to mute everybody, but we're going to have a lot of you come back and talk. Web summits, webinars. If you have, whatever it is that you're bringing to that you're trying to get on a stage as far as the medium goes, we have Clubhouse stages, LinkedIn Lives, television shows, big stages, and in-person stages. That's right. COVID has run us through the ringer as speakers for 2 full years, and we're done with them. We are kicking COVID to the side, and we are ready to get back on some in-person stages. So we have some in-person stages to share with you as well. We're going to talk about a couple of those today, but I do encourage you to come join us at Speakers Playhouse at 10:30 a.m. That's in 3.5 hours. And you will hear from not just me, not just the stages I have, but about 40 different stages, opportunities to get on all kinds of podcasts and all kinds of things. We have several main events that we're going to be talking about, but today's call is going to be primarily about how to get on web summits. Okay, so I would love to know who's here in the room. So if you don't know what a web summit is, put a 0 in the chat box. So just put a 0 in the chat box. If you have never heard of a web summit, you don't know what a web summit is, or maybe you've heard of it, but you got no experience. You've never been to one. You don't know what they are. Please put, okay, we got a couple of brand new people. Please put a 1 in the chat if you have attended a web summit. Put a 1 in the chat if you have attended the web summit. All right, so we should get some, we got a few responses on that. Okay, awesome. Okay, great. And please put a 2 in the chat if you've ever spoken on a virtual web summit. If you've ever spoken on a virtual web summit. Okay, so we got several of you who've spoken on virtual web summit. Awesome. All right, and give me the crazies if you have ever hosted your own web summit. Put a 3 in the chat box. So a 3 in the chat box if you've ever been crazy enough to host your own web summit. Okay, you got a couple of crazies in the audience. That's fantastic. Super excited. If you have spoken on a web summit, by the way, and you had a pretty good experience with it, and you enjoyed the process, you may be ready to step your foot up on the stage to host your own summit. So we'll talk a little bit about how you might be able to do that. So I help all kinds of folks host web summits to build their, get this, credibility, their authority, their know, like, and trust, their revenue, their reach, and their list. My list in about 2 years grew by 35,000 people primarily because of web summits. So it's an extremely powerful tool to be able to grow your list. And as a web summit host, just doing one web summit, you can add, our goal is for our hosts to be able to add 1,000 hot leads to their repertoire. So if you're trying to increase your know, like, and trust, your revenue, your reach, it's a great way to do that. But speaking on a web summit can be as well. It's not always, and I've spoken on quite a few web summits. Some of the web summits are recorded, and I find those to be less successful than the summits that are live. Some summits go on for days and weeks, and I've even seen one for 45 days that dripped content out over 45 days. As a speaker on the 43rd day, nobody's paying attention to you anymore. They've all moved on to other stuff, right? So our summits are designed as a win-win-win. How do I know that? I have hosted over 50 summits. I have helped host or hosted myself over 50 web summits. And that means with my clients or myself. All right. So it doesn't mean that I just decided to host a track or something like that, although you can do that. And producing that many summits, I realized what it took for it to be a win-win-win. That means it's a win for the host, it's a win for the speaker, and it's a win for the audience. And that is by design how we run our summits. If it's not a win for the speaker, or if it's not a win for the audience, or if it's not a win for the host, something went wrong and we need to fix it before we move forward. So as a speaker, oftentimes I was like, well, this is great. I helped them build their list, and I got a chance to get on the mic, but there were only like 1 or 2 people in the room, and I got 1 or 2 leads from that, right? And it can be very disheartening to do that. And we want it to be a win for our speakers, a win for our audience, and a win for our hosts. We find that this format that we're going to talk about in just a minute is exactly that. It is in your best interest that we design these summits. So we want for you to be able to build your list. I have had speakers come to me after some of the summits I've done. One in particular that came and said she added 400 people to her list by speaking on my summit. She as a speaker added 400 people to her list. Now that's not guaranteed, and that's not every time, but that's just one that I know about. It's entirely possible that some people have added more, and certainly possible that people have added less to their summit than to their list than 400. And it really depends on your lead magnet, and it really depends on your talk, and it really depends on the audience that you're targeting. But that said, I know it is possible. All right. So it is definitely in your best interest to that we have designed this summit as it is. So the secret sauce to our summit is that it's live, highly interactive with the audience, no PowerPoint zone, interview style. Live, highly interactive, interview style, and no PowerPoint zone. The reason that we do that is because all of the things that are the opposite of that have a tendency to lose audience interest fairly quickly. All right. So the live makes it very, very engaged. I got a lot of you already to be able to put things in the chat. So I know you're engaged, you're paying attention, and that's awesome. Why? Because it's live. That's right. Now, for those of you who are watching the recording, hi, recording people, you're amazing too. And we will have recordings of all of our web summits available to people afterwards. However, the live component is really powerful because you're able to connect to the people that are actually on the call. Super, super powerful. So if you are a web host that is working with us, if you would raise your hand, I'm going to call you to the mic in just a second, but I want to get you in queue so that we can make sure that we call you to the mic. I see Martin here. I see Kelly here. I don't know. I can't. There's over 100 of you on the call now. I love you. Thank you all for showing up so early in the morning. So I don't see all of you in the audience, but if you're a summit host, if working with us, if you could raise your hand, that would be fantastic. Okay, and we're going to call you to the mic so that you can introduce yourself and share a little bit about what your summit is and what kinds of guests you're looking for and why you're creating it. We actually have somewhere between 15 and 19 summits right now that we are booking for. 15 of them are published and ready to go, and there are 4 in the background that we're bringing together right now that we will have for you in the coming weeks. So we've got a lot of summits. I have over 1,000 speaking spots, so all of you can get on a stage if you want to. There are speaking opportunities for all of you, depending on what kinds of people you want to get in front of. All right, so I'm going to call to the mic next, Martin Salama. Martin, do you want to share with us what your stage is about? And you just had a summit, is that right?
I did. Last week was my summit, last Tuesday and Wednesday.
Awesome. How was that for you and the audience and the speakers?
Well, I loved it. I thought it was a great way to promote myself as well as many other speakers. You talked about adding people. I added 1,600 names to my list by being the host. So that's exciting. I had 72 speakers over 2 days, and it was just really fantastic. And you know what? Besides the fact that this was a platform for people to get their messages out there and all that, I've also made relationships with over 130 people because I went back and looked it over, because I'd spoken to 50 or 60 other people who weren't ready at the time or whatever, that I now could do some kind of JVing with, some type of collaboration with down the line. So it's got a lot of peripheral things that you don't think about.
That's incredible. Okay, great. So tell us, I appreciate that endorsement. Truly do. Thank you, Martin. And Martin was a lot of fun to work with. We're not supposed to play favorites, but I was like, Martin, you're right there. You might be our favorite because he followed all the rules and did all the great things. And his summit was a huge success. At the end of everybody's summit, we now have what we call a wrap-up call. And the wrap-up call brings all the speakers and all the speakers back into one big Zoom room. And all the attendees get a chance to raise their hand and ask questions of the hosts and and share their gratitudes and their takeaways. So it's very highly interactive for the audience as well. Whereas a traditional Web Summit, especially a recorded one, there's no real human to human interaction. And with our wrap up call, your wrap up call was incredible because people were singing the praises of all the speakers and sharing all kinds of things, and really had a lot of gratitude for you putting it on. You have
Yeah.
another one coming up, is that right?
I do. It's tentatively for August, and it's tentatively going to be called again the Entrepreneur's Abundant Life Summit. Go from warrior to warrior. And that's what I'm all about. I'm the Warrior's Life Code. Life stands for live incredibly full every day. And I'm excited to do it. I'm excited to have people come on there and share their message.
Awesome. Okay, great. ILCC, thank you, Martin. If you are interested in being on Martin's Summit, we're going to show you how you can connect with him in just a minute. But Martin, you're welcome to put your contact information in the chat as well. Kelly Filardo, you also were one of our Summit hosts previously, and I think you're thinking about hosting another one with us again. Do you want to talk a little bit about that or your experience, or if you're going to host another one?
Yeah, you bet. So first of all, working with Kimberly and her team is the best thing you can do. It really is. They make it so easy. There was like no stress, and they handled all the back end work so that Michelle and I could go and do our thing and not have to worry about this summit. And so we did an all about NFT summit. And the reason we did it was because we were just new into getting into NFT, and we wanted to learn from all these experts. So it was a great way for us to get to know people in that industry, and get, just like Martin was saying, get more partners to work with. And so it was an awesome NFT conference or summit, and we just loved it. And so did all our people. They were thanking us for putting it on. And yeah, so if you're thinking about doing a summit, you got to work with Kimberly and her team because they're fantastic.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you for the endorsement. We know we're going to get you to do another one, and Michelle as well. Michelle Abraham is actually my co-host in Podapalooza. So if you're looking to get on podcasts, I'm going to have my team drop a link in there for Podapalooza. It is happening June the 17th, and summits and podcasts are really excellent medium in different ways. So a podcast is a summit is something that's happening right now. It's a bunch of speakers all together, happening usually in 1 or 2 or 3 days. And it's just what's happening now. It's like what's on the radio or what's on television right now. However, a podcast is sort of like Netflix, right? So Netflix is more like I can watch it when I want to watch it, and I can watch it in the future, and I can rewatch it a whole time a lot later, and I can watch them all in a row. So if you get on a podcast, the opportunity there is to be searchable, and also when people are watching one, they're sort of like watching all of them right in a row, or they come back and watch them later. So when you're pitching something, or when you're calling attention to something, the idea of calling attention to an event or something happening now should really be done on a web summit, because a podcast, people are going to be maybe listening to it 6 months or a year from now, and it may not be the same thing. On a podcast, you really want to drop your information about your website, things that are going to be evergreen. But on a summit, having information right now to be able to promote an activity that's happening very, very soon, those leads are fantastic for that. Now, on our web summits, everybody can give a downloadable, a freebie, a list magnet, a lead builder, something of value to our audience that will add the opt-in to your list. There are on many of our summits opportunities to upgrade to a selling spot as well, but we don't have very many of them. Why? Because we don't want it to be a pitch fest for our audience. If any of you have gone to summits where like every single person has an offer and it's more stuff to buy, it can get exhausting. They get offer fatigued. But all of the freebies, the downloadables, the list magnets, the lead builders, all of those cool things that you guys have available are a really fantastic way for you to start connecting with them, and then invite them to your event or program or whatever is happening now. Maybe you're kicking off a course, or you're doing a product launch. The summits are a great way to be able to get a whole bunch of leads really fast for whatever you're about to kick off. Okay. So how do you choose? I have 19 different summits that you could potentially speak on. How do you choose? We want you to choose based on who you are trying to target. right? Who you're trying to target. So if you're trying to target speakers and entrepreneurs, we got a ton for you. If you're trying to target women, we have summits for you. If you're trying to target parents, we have summits for you. If you're trying to target healthcare workers or people in the health and wellness field, or we even have one for outdoor enthusiasts. So there's plenty of opportunities for you to be able to connect. But check out the summits that we have available, or the summits that are out there that are not ours, and make sure that you're aligned with the audience. And ideally, it's a fairly broad audience. It's not women that are 45 years old that have 2 kids and are soccer moms, right? Like it's not usually that specific. It's usually a little bit more broad. But the speakers need to be able to target that audience and serve them really well. So we're going to talk about what happens before, during, and after our summits and the summit experience. But I want to clear up some things right away and make sure that we have the right kinds of people in the audience. So would you please put in 2 things in the chat box right now? Put in the target audience that you have. And if you have a talk title that you're trying to highlight, please put your talk title in as well. Please put your name of your talk title, and please put your target market in the audience. Okay, so target consultants, 45 years, small business owners. That's great. If you put them in together, then we can see like, okay, I target speakers and entrepreneurs, and my talk title is the 4 types of stages every entrepreneur should get on and how to maximize each one. Okay, so that's my talk title and my target market, and that will help us know who's in the audience. So fantastic. Okay, we got everybody that's put something in the chat box. We have a summit for you guys right now. Mercy, would you please, I have my assistants on the team. They're absolutely phenomenal. Actually, I have Kathleen and Cindy. I also have my amazing right arm, which is Mercy Griffin. She's been with me for years and years and has done an amazing job streamlining our summit process to make it as effective for our speakers as possible. Again, live and highly interactive, no PowerPoint zone, and it's a really powerful way to be able to connect with your audience. Okay. So if you would post in the chat, and wait till it stops scrolling, but post in the chat our link to be able to go to our show host and speaker registration form. Right? So we're going to put that in the chat if anybody can. Oh, good. She just put it in. So hang on. Don't put anything in the chat for just a second. And if everybody could open that on their screen, that would be fantastic. You should be able to get a screen with 2 purple bars that opens up with some pink bars in between it. Let me see if I can go to that right now. And then when you have that open on your machine, some of you may have already seen this, but there are actually 2 new stages on it, since many of you have seen it, because that's how we roll. We're just trying to get you more and more and more opportunities. So Mercy, you might have to throw that in the chat box one more time, because there have been people adding to the chat, which is great. But we want to be sure that everybody can open this on their screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you what you're going to get from that. On one side, we have a stage host registration. And if you do have a stage that you'd like to tell us about, you're welcome to put that on the right-hand side. But we're going to focus right now on the left-hand side. So we're going to put, that's funny. I had put this in for my partner, Ginny, and it still has information on there. Okay, so you're going to put in what you just put in the chat box. Who is your ideal audience? That's like women, or for me, it's speakers. And then I just said the 4 stages, and I'm going to abbreviate so I don't have to type all that out. And then you're going to say, it's going to say, show me the stages. So are you looking for web summits, podcasts, in-person stages, radio shows, television shows, clubhouse stages, streaming, live social, or I'm open, right? Like, what are you looking for? So today I'm looking for web summits, podcasts, and live in-person stages, because we're going to tell you about those. And then it's going to ask you for your major market, because we connect you with other show hosts that serve a similar major market. So while you may serve women over 45, you're going to want to check women. If they're spiritual women, you're going to want to check spirituality and transformation. All right. So whichever group that you are supporting, you can choose many of them. You don't just have to choose one. You can choose them all, but I wouldn't recommend it, because you really want to focus on your audience. You should be speaking in front of the people who are ideal for you. And then, holy moly, do we have a stage for you? That's right. So these are all of the stages that we have. As I said, we've added 2 in-person stages. We actually have more than that. We just haven't added them yet. The one that I'm going to highlight first is the one that's coming up in 2 weeks, May 30th and 31st. This is my signature summit, the Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel Web Summit. For those of you who said that you serve entrepreneurs, or speakers and entrepreneurs, this is the summit for you. Speakers, coaches, authors, entrepreneurs. This is an incredible summit. We already have 250 people signed up, pre-registered for this summit that want to hear our speakers speak before we've announced the first speaker. Why? Because this is my 11th one. And after the end of the first one, we say, would you like to pre-register for the next one? And we have people that sign up immediately because they know the quality that we bring to our summits. So we already have people signed up for that one, and it's going to be phenomenal. That's in 2 weeks. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that one, but I really want people to pull the trigger on that one. If you serve entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, or authors, that's going to be a fantastic summit. I actually host that summit, and it's a single track. We'll talk about what that means in a bit. But I interview everybody that is on that summit personally because it is my signature summit. It's the first one that I ever did, and I'm on my 11th one now. We also have the Entrepreneur Speaker Retreat. That's an in-person stage, an opportunity for you to get on a stage and speak to our audience. We actually get you on stage 6 different times during the speaker retreat to share different aspects of your business and who you are and how you show up in the world. And you can give your signature talk there as well to in our small groups. So there's a lot of really good potential opportunity for you to be able to get on stage. The cool thing about in-person stages is actually that we have a videographer there, and you can also get a video of yourself speaking in front of a real audience, like real human beings standing in front of you or sitting in front of you and listening to you speak. So that's a really cool opportunity. That's happening in New Orleans, Louisiana, June 7th through 11th. So if you're interested in getting on an in-person stage, click that link and let us know, and we will get you information on that. The next one is Standout Stars. This is the exception to the rule. This one is actually Tony Kaufman. She does a lot of her stuff recorded. So if you're into the recordings and you're like, I don't want to go live, I want to go recorded, Standout Stars is incredible. It's happening around Father's Day. And it's going to be, it's a very well followed summit. It's also a sponsored summit. And because she started to work with us and has been working, she's a dear friend of mine. Tony Kaufman's amazing. If you guys know Tony, but Tony rocks in the chat box. But she and I have been working together, and her deal is that we have been talking to her about doing one of the days. It's a 7-day summit, I think. One of the days as all live speakers, and I'll be speaking if she's able to pull that off. It's around Father's Day, so we have to figure out what day we're going to make that happen. But one day that's fully live will be on brand for me, so then I can participate in that one myself. The next one is the Sensual Mom Summit. That's a brand new one. So if your target market are moms or moms interested in a better, richer life, including a healthy sex life after motherhood begins, that's a phenomenal one for you. That is Tilly Storm. It's going to be great. Then we have Spark Your Success, which is all about faith-based and purpose-driven coaches and speakers. So if that's you, that's fantastic. That one's happening June 28th. Then we have Health, Wealth, and Wisdom Summit. I think they're on their 7th one. This was one of my earliest clients, Ali Lankarani, also known as Dr. L, the Parent Whisperer. He runs Role Model Maker and a whole bunch of other really cool things. One of them is called the Family Circle, which is a regular weekly show that he actually has you speak on that stage. And if you speak on that stage, you get 6 episodes on his stage to talk about your stuff. So you can have a mini show within his show. If you're interested in connecting with him, I would highly recommend you check that box. Then we have the Explosive Profits Summit, which is going to be phenomenal. That's Andy Monet. She is absolutely incredible, really, really fun to work with. Entrepreneurs and business owners is her target market. That's happening July 12th. Then we have the Women's Retreat, which is in person in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. That we are also going to have a stage during, and it's an opportunity also for you to speak to our retreatees, the people who are retreat people, the women who are attending the retreat. You can put together a demonstration or an experiential event for the women who are there. So if you teach yoga or you teach meditation, or if you, are a mixologist and teach people how to make margaritas that are the best ever, we would love for you to be able to come to that. and then have your own event, like mini event at that show, so that you can have an experiential thing for the women who are attending that. And at the end of that, we are going to have a stage that you can speak on with local English speaking folks. That is our goal for that one. My partner, Jenny Trask, is running that. She runs Top Tier Travel, and she is phenomenal at being able to have amazing travel experiences. So this is not just going to be like a show up and do a whole bunch of things. We're going to be at the pool. We're going to be relaxing. We're going to be visiting cenotes that are these amazing sort of caves with water in them where you can swim in them. And it's totally fantastic. You guys should definitely go to that. So that is a women's retreat. If you're a guy interested in that, the women's retreat portion of that is not available, but it's actually we're going to an all-inclusive. So while you could actually go to it and then attend the stage at the end of it, some of the activities that are for the women's retreat, you just wouldn't be able to participate in, but we would love to have them there. And if you want to bring your partner, husband, gentleman friend, whatever you like, if you wanted to attend that, they are welcome to actually come to Playa del Carmen. Like I said, it's an all-inclusive resort. It's totally fantastic. Then we have the Great Outdoor Summit for those of you who are outdoor enthusiasts. If you teach about like how to go camping, or if you teach one of those cool things like how to survive and shit outside, there will be cussing. You don't have to cuss. The Great Outdoor Summit is totally fantastic for you. Then we have the Badass Women in Business Summit. Jenny just had her summit 2 days ago, and it was incredible. We had the best wrap-up party ever. It even outshone Martin's. We were on for an hour and a half. People were talking about all the amazing things they got out of it. There was huge bonding and celebration afterwards. And we got some really great sound bites from our people that said how amazing it absolutely was. Then we have Voices of Color. And I'm going to skip down to Voices of Women Summit as well. So those two summits are what we call mega summits. The Voices of Women Summit 2023 will be held on International Women's Day, March 8th, 2023. I am very passionate about getting people underserved in the market on the stages. So if you Google right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you Google motivational speakers, you're going to get a lot of white faces, mostly male, and like 3 other people. And that is not the problem of the men or the white people that are out there. It is really just that the rest of us need to step up and get our feet and loafers and high heels on those stages and make sure that our stories get told as well, because everybody has a message to share. And I just want to see more people be able to share their message on stage. And if you want to be a motivational or inspirational speaker, there is a stage for you. These are super summits. Ideally, over 100 people will be speaking on the summit, and thousands of people will be registered for the summit. Last time we had 216 women speak on the Voices of Women Summit. And you can imagine when you have 216 women all coming together, the power in a single day, the power and excitement that runs behind that. It was advertised on, I actually think our press release got picked up by 72 different channels, whether they were blogs or newspapers or TV shows. I know it went out on the major, the offshoots of the major networks, because I saw Fox and CBS and NBC and all kinds of things on there. The great opportunity to be able to get seen and heard and have a press release done about the summit that you're on. So those two are really fabulous. If you're a person of color or you are a woman, I would love to have you apply to speak on those summits. Really phenomenal opportunity to be able to rub shoulders with some really cool human beings. Then for my transformation, spirituality, woo people, we have the Positive Shift Summit. This is our number 3. That's not number 2. It's a typo there. Sorry. That's number 3. That's happening November 15th. Then we have Kelly's Summit listed. So if you're interested in NFT and crypto, that may be happening in the fall of 2022. You'll get connected with her. And then Family Matters Summit. That was just happened on the International UN International Day of Families. That was the first one, the inaugural one. I think he had nearly 100 speakers on that one as well. Family Matters Summit is a phenomenal opportunity. So you can see that this is an opportunity for you to get connected. What will happen after you hit next? Oh, let me just show you what happens after you hit next. Share screen. Okay, after you hit next, it's going to send them your information and say, Kelly, so-and-so Kimberly is interested in speaking on the NFT Summit. And her talk title is the 4 types of stages every entrepreneur should get on and how to maximize each one. And she has expressed interest. Please, connect with her. And it will send you an email that says, congratulations, Kimberly, you just, you're interested in speaking on Kelly's NFT Summit. Here is her name and her contact information, and you can get in contact with her. And basically it's a connector form. You're not officially registered for anything yet, but you are getting connected with them. They're getting your contact information and they're getting yours. So, oh no, I don't know what happened with that. Maybe we just overloaded it. Well, I'm going to show you what you get on that if it doesn't overload. It will actually take you to our speaking opportunities page, which you can find here. Mercy, if you can put this in the chat so people can make sure to get it in case that is actually a broken link. I don't know why it would be, but it was working before, but maybe we just we have 114 people on it. Maybe everybody hit send at the same time and it crashed my site. Thank you for that. I love all of you for doing that. Okay. So these are the speaking opportunities, and it does say a little bit more about these speaking opportunities. So if you're interested in the Sex and Motherhood Summit, you can click on that one. And if you're interested in explosive profits, not all of these are listed here because not all of them are, some of them are just gathering interest. They're not gathering registrations yet. Now, the difference between interest and a registration, I'll show you because we're going to highlight mine because that's the next one coming up and it's fabulous. When you click on this, you're going to get this screen that tells you what we're looking for and some details about it. And I'm going to get back to that in just a second. When you click apply here, it's going to ask you to fill out your name and information and register for the summit. You will also have to pay an application fee. In this case, it's $49, and you'll have to pay a refundable, fully refundable deposit of $300 for this particular summit. Not all of our summits have refundable deposits. Some of them do not take a deposit at all. Some of them have a $200 deposit. Some of them have a $250 deposit. We have our deposits are between $200 and $300. How do you get your deposit back? I'm just going to address that real quickly. And why are you charging me in the first place? And I thought you said this was going to be a win-win-win. It is. Having the deposit actually is in the best interest of the speakers and the host. All right. It's in the best interest of the speakers and the host. So for those of you who put a 2 in the chat, you have spoken on a summit before. The problem with summits that I have experienced over 50 summits and 4 years of doing this is that speakers do not promote evenly. There are some speakers who promote effectively and they get 100 or 200 people signed up for the summit and it's amazeballs. There are some speakers who have a smaller list that don't that promote and they can get 40 or 50 people signed up for the summit. And there are some people who say they're going to promote and they do not, and they don't get anybody signed up for the summit. So it's not equal. It's not an even playing field. So what we do is we say, we don't care what the list size is. We don't care how many times you promote or how you promote. In fact, I have a large, very effective list. There's 115 people on this call right now, primarily because of my list, right? I can get 400, 500, 600 registrations for an event with the list that I have and have 115 people show up. That's great. Not everybody can do that. That's totally fine. We want more people to be able to share their message with the world. And so we do not care how large your list is, but we do want you to have a responsive list. And if you don't have a list at all, you can still be on our summits. That's right. You can still be on our summits, even if you have no list at all. So here's the thing. To get your deposit back from all of the speakers, we ask that you get a minimum number of signups. Now, for my Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel Web Summit, which is happening in 2 weeks, and it's fabulous, and we already have 250 people signed up, we will probably have way over 1,000 people register for this summit. We're going to ask you to get at least 35. 35 what? 35 ticket sales? No, we just need you to get 35 registrations for the summit. So if you have 34 people on your list and one really good friend who will sign up, you're good to go on that summit. Okay. You can just post on social media, multiple places. If you have a small list, you can mail to your list. If you have a large list, you can mail to your list once. You don't have to mail multiple. We don't say you have to mail 3 times to your list and post 18 times on social media and do Facebook Lives. And we don't do that. We don't care how you do it. We're just looking for a minimum number of signups. 35 is actually a lot. Even though we're bringing you thousands, because we're getting thousands of people registered for this summit, we only want our speakers to be able to have at least a minimum number of signups. Many of our summits require 15. Some of them require 20. Some of them require 25. Mine is the only one that requires 35. And we are, because we have such a following already, we are looking for people who have a bit more of a responsive list and people specifically who serve entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, authors. If that's you, the Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel Web Summit, 35 signups is not hard to do. Just by calling friends and family, many of our speakers have said, just called their tribe or their current clients and said, hey, I'm speaking on the summit. Would you please register for it? It's registration. There's no price for that. It's totally free for them to register. All they do is sign up with their name and their email address, and they're registered for the summit. But good news, we actually do have a VIP upgrade. They don't have to buy it, but if any of your people buy the VIP upgrade, you get an affiliate commission on it of somewhere between 30 and 50% of the VIP price. Our VIP tickets traditionally sell for $49 as early bird and $97 as day of the event. So if you get a 50% commission on a $97 ticket, that's $48.50 that you get from us because one of your people upgraded to VIP. So we are not asking you to sell tickets, but if one of your people buys a ticket, you are actually going to get paid. So we're going to pay you for bringing people to our summit. All right. Does that seem fair? Does that seem cool? Yes. Awesome. Okay, great. Good. I'm excited. So win-win-win, right? Again, we're not asking you to sell tickets, but we are asking every speaker to be able to get a minimum number of registrations. On every page that you see, you're actually going to see the number of registrations. So when you go into it, or if you just get connected with the host, you can say, what's my minimum number of registrations? Again, many of them are 15 or 20. I think one is 25 and mine is 35. It's honestly, it's not that hard to get 35 signups, but if you don't think you can get 35 signups, maybe that summit isn't right for you. Or alternatively, I do have many people that say, Kimberly, I know your summit is well attended. I've heard of the turnaround that you guys get. I know that it's an investment for me, but I will pay the deposit and I understand that I will not be getting it back. Awesome. Go ahead and promote it anyway. Many of those people who said that to me got their deposits back because they hit 35 and beyond. Okay, so if that's you, I welcome you on the summit. Absolutely fantastic. We will have many people registered for the summit because of the way that we structure it. You will be able to build your list from it. You will be able to gain experience. You will be rubbing shoulders with some phenomenal people, and it's a great opportunity for you to do that. So your deposit is refundable, but you've got to do 3 things. Number 1, write these down. It'll say actually on the forms, but you can write these down just so you know. You've got to get a minimum number of registrations, which is specified by the summit. Number 2, you have to follow the rules. So there's one on there that is for faith-based entrepreneurs or faith-based women or something like that. There may be a rule on that there's no cussing. If you cuss during that summit, you could theoretically lose your deposit, right? There are rules that are for each summit. None of them are ridiculous. Some of them are, you cannot pitch, you cannot sell, you can't share PowerPoints. If you have a PowerPoint presentation that you feel you must share, you just need to clear that with your show host beforehand. And you just call up Martin and you're like, hey, I've got to show, I have a PowerPoint. Is there any way I can share it? And as long as you get pre-permission for that, you did not break the rules. Totally fine. But we don't want you to come on and pitch heavily. We want you to give value to our audience. Remember, we said it was a win-win-win. It's got to be a win for the audience as well. So if your talk is all about you and how awesome you are and how they need to buy your stuff, these summits are not going to be right for you. We need you to give value to the audience and teach them something so that after they walk away, they feel fulfilled. That builds your know, like, and trust. And then later they may come and purchase something for you because they know how smart you are and how much value you gave them. All right. So that's number 2, is you can't break any rules. I have never, ever held back somebody's to date. I've never held back somebody's deposit because they broke a rule. I don't want to, but the reason that we actually put this in here is because we had a speaker come on and she promoted, that was totally unauthorized. She promoted her event and dropped a link in the chat for the event to sell it, told everybody how much it was, and then gave away a free coaching session to anybody who wanted to join that afternoon during our summit. She was a very well-known speaker and about 50 people signed up for it, left our summit to go to her thing. That was not cool, right? She was a very big name, and it was super uncool for her to do that. And after that happened, I was like, awesome. We just added our third thing, no breaking rules. All right. So I've never held back anybody's deposit for that. So don't worry. We're not trying to trick you into giving our deposit. We do not try to make money this way. We just try to get skin in the game from each of the speakers so that they follow the rules. Number 3 way to get to the number 3 thing that you have to do in order to get your deposit back is you have to show up live for your live talk. To show up live for your live talk. I can't tell you how many speakers no show during live events, right? As soon as we do this, and it's bad for all of the other speakers as well, because they're like, I actually had a dear friend when I was right before I did my very first summit. She had 12 speakers, all live, coming to speak at her event. And it was a 2-day summit, 6 hours each day. She said 3 of the speakers no-showed. 3 out of 12. 3 speakers no-showed her live event. Can you believe that? So holy cow, yes, that is not going to happen to me, right? So we have those 3 rules. You have to show up live, you have to follow the rules, and you have to get a minimum number of signups. This makes it a win-win-win. So the fact that we are securing these deposits from everybody else makes sure that you are going to be on a professional summit where people are going to show up live. Other people are not going to pitch the heck out of your audience, and you're going to have everybody show up. We don't like advertising that Mary is going to come speak about her little lambs and 500 people sign up for her talk and she no-shows them, right? Not cool. And it makes us look bad, and it pisses off our audience. And the other speakers are like, wow, you got people who are totally unreliable. Not cool, right? So those are the 3 things. So does anybody have any questions on how they're going to get their deposit back? You can put them in the chat. I'm just going to guess that one of them is, what if I get 19 instead of 20, right? I am honestly saying we are not here to keep your deposit. If you get 19 out of 20, you're going to call your show host and say, I did my level best. What can I do to get my deposit back? If you do that with me and you get if you get 34 out of 35, we're going to play together in a really big way, right? I'll say, great, you can promote Speakers Playhouse. If you get 3 or 4 signups or 1 sign up for that, I'll give you your deposit back, right? We're going to work it out in another way. We're going to stay friends. If you have 1 sign up for my 35 signups, we're going to have a different conversation, right? Because it needs to be a win-win-win. If I gave you a speaking spot and you brought 1 person and everybody else brought 35 or more, then it's not fair, right? It's not fair to the other speakers, and and we could have given that spot to somebody else who could have promoted effectively. But if you get, if you get close, and I mean anywhere close, just reach out to your show host and say, that's a deposit and I understand. Is there any way that I can get that back? And just have the conversation with them. We actually say this in every one of our trainings with our show hosts. We are not trying to keep these deposits. If we are keeping a deposit, it's either because the speaker said, you can keep it. I know that I screwed up, or I didn't get what I tried, but it didn't work, or you can just have it. Or it's because we're not friends anymore. They broke a really big rule, right? And we're not going to be friends. So we're not trying to keep your deposit. We want you to be our friend. We want you to do everything right. And we want you to follow the rules. Okay. So before the summit, you're going to register. You're going to pay your speaker fee. Pretty much all of the people who are qualified for the talks will be accepted as a speaker. We encourage that to be a wide, broad acceptance, right? Now, if you are a man speaking on a summit that is not for men, like Voices of Women, unless you are currently identifying as a woman, that is not a summit for you, right? And we're going to have a big conversation with you about it, because it's really not we're trying to be able to raise the voices of women in that particular summit. All right. If you have a talk based on something that's inappropriate for that particular audience, you will not be accepted as a speaker on that summit. You will be notified right away, and you will get a complete 100% refund of any amount that you paid. However, once you're accepted, then we want you to show up. Okay, so you're going to get accepted, and then we're going to give you a speaking time. So you're going to get an email from us that says, congratulations, you've been accepted on the Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel Web Summit. Your speaking time is March 30th at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Here is your swipe copy, which is basically email examples of how to promote the summit. Here is your affiliate link of how we're going to track how many signups you have. And maybe here's a JPEG of a picture of you and your talk title with our logo on it or something like that. You're going to be able to start promoting that to your audience. If the time does not work for you for whatever reason, no big deal, but please email us right away and say, oh, darn it, you hit the exact time that I have another talk. Is there any other time available on your summit? As long as you do that really early, we have flexibility. If we're very late in the game, we may only have 1 or 2 spots available, or we could possibly move some other speakers around. But generally speaking, the closer we get to the summit, the more we have advertised you and your speaking time. So we don't want you to come to us 2 days or 3 days before and say, oh, well, I have a hairdresser appointment, I can't make that one. Nope, sorry, that's going to be a problem for us. You got to show up for your time once you've been confirmed. Okay. Definitely play with us and continue to talk to us and continue to have a conversation with us if something comes up. We're humans and human things happen to humans. And if something happens to you that's a human thing that happened to you, just call us and talk to us humans and we will work it out, right? And we'll figure something out. But if you know about it, please do not say, oh, I can't go because that's my daughter's wedding. Well, you probably knew about your daughter's wedding a couple of weeks ago, right? Okay, so we need to be sure that you guys communicate to us as early as possible. We have had people that said, I have I don't feel like well, and I'm not coming today. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Zoom. You're not going to infect anybody. We would prefer that you come if you can. No showing at the last minute when we have 500 people signed up to see your talk and telling them, oh, she wasn't feeling well today. It just doesn't jibe really well with us. So make sure that you show up for your talk. Okay. Then before the summit, you're actually going to promote the summit. You can do social media posts. You can mail your list. Again, if I mail my list once, I'm going to get 100 signups. I don't have to mail 3 times. We're not asking you to mail 3 times. You can mail as many times as you want to your list. You can even mail 0 times, as long as you get the minimum number of signups. Why would we, but you might want to get more signups than that because we actually run a leaderboard and we give away some really cool prizes, including free VIP tickets to people who get at least so many signups on our summit, right? So I think mine is if you get at least 45 signups, because the minimum is 35. If you get at least 45 signups, I will upgrade you to VIP, which means you get all the bonuses and all the recordings and you get all kinds of really cool stuff, right? If you get 50 signups, you get a copy of your MP4. You get a copy of your actual video. We will mail you the video of your interview, right? So you can have that to repurpose as you like. If you hit the top of our leaderboard, you get a free speaking spot on one of my next upcoming summits. If you hit the top 3, you get some other cool prizes. So we give away really, really cool prizes to the people who promote even greater than the minimum. So once you hit the minimums, awesome, great job. You're, as long as you show up and you follow the rules, you're going to get your deposit back. But if you continue to promote, then it's going to be a win for everybody. We would love to have you do that. And we're going to give away some really cool prizes on that. All right. So, Mercy, can you shoot me a note in the messenger link, or Kathleen or Cindy, if there's anybody in our back channel, if there's anybody who has a question that I need to address, because there's a lot going on in the chat, 101 people here today. Thank you all for showing up. But I want to make sure we get through all the content. All right, so next, that's what happens before the summit. Your responsibilities are to promote, our responsibilities are to promote. We will get you affiliate links, swipe copy, we'll put you on our landing page, we're going to promote you, it's going to be awesome. Then the day of the summit happens. What happens during the summit? So our summits are interview style. We will have in the summit with you, we'll have an interview host, and we will have a tech host. Just like Mercy and Kathleen and Cindy are on with us right now, we will have people in the chat box with you being able to answer your questions on the fly, or answer the questions of the attendees on the fly, being able to drop the links as we talk about them, being able to make sure that the room stays open in case the interview host's internet goes down or something like that, and make sure that things are running smoothly in the background. So when you come to the talk, you will come 5 minutes before your talk, and we're going to talk to you in the what we call a green room. So you have a chance just to be in there with the interview host, the interview host, the tech host, and yourself. We'll talk for about 3 minutes before you go live. Mercy, can you put in the chat our link to our interview form, our interview process? All of our summits are run by people, so sometimes they change the format, but pretty much they run this exactly. So we have a form that is our interview process that we're going to share with you exactly what happens during the interview. I don't see that in there, so let me see. She may not be able to find it. Let me grab it real quick. Oh, she's got it. Okay, so if you guys would put that into your, open that up on your screen, you're going to have a copy of it after we're done here. You can also be sure to save the chat if you want to. There's a lot of stuff in there. Okay, so when you open that, you're going to get a pretty purple screen, and I'm going to share my screen so that you guys can see what happens. This is the interview process, what happens during the interview on all of our summits. Our summits are unique, follow a formula designed with a win-win-win approach. We want the talk to be a win for the audience, a win for the summit host, and a win for our speakers. With that in mind, our summits are typically very interactive, held live interview style over Zoom with a global reach. Interview spots are 25 minutes end to end. If you need more than that, just reach out to your show host and say, I need more than that. There are possibilities to upgrade to a 45-minute spot as well on most of our summits. They're held every half hour with a 5-minute break in between sessions. You will have an interview host and a tech host in the session with you. The interview host will be on screen with you, directing the session, and the tech host will be monitoring the chat and answering questions and handling technical issues. 5 minutes before your talk begins, you're going to join a Zoom call. You'll enter the green room, which is a private room for you, the interview host, and the tech host to chat. And we're going to verify a bunch of stuff, your name and how to pronounce it. We're human. In case we haven't announced that already, as an interview host, we are human. We could get it wrong when we go live, but we want to check one more time before we go live to make sure it's correct. Hi, Nan Nusale. Are you okay playing with me a little bit? Will you unmute? Are you willing to unmute?
I'm happy to do that.
Okay, great. So Nan is going to play with me a little bit. Hi, Nan. Super excited that you're here for our summit. It's going to be amazeballs. You're going to be awesome. Our crowd's going to love you. You are going to be talking about the 10 things you must do at the zoo every time you go. Super excited to have you here. So how do I pronounce your name? Is it Nan Nusale?
It's Nestle. The U is silent.
Awesome. So Nan Nestle, did I get that right?
You got that right. Thank
Okay,
you.
awesome. So when we go live, I'll try to remember that. I'll do my level best. Your talk title is the 10 things we must do at the zoo every single time. And then your gift and downloadable is 5 things that you want to pack in your picnic lunch to be able to have a successful day at the zoo. Is that right?
That's right.
Awesome. I'm super excited about that. Here's the link. It's an affiliate link that will track it back to us in the event that eventually you take these people and you make a sale on one of your programs. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Awesome. If you guys don't know what affiliate links is, that's totally cool. You can still play with us, but we prefer that you have an affiliate link so that you can track back sales to us. When you call us 3 weeks later and say, hey, Kimberly, I made a sale and I have money to give you, we're going to be friends really, really fast. Okay. So if you have a way to be able to do that, we want to make sure you do that. Okay, great. So we verified that your link works. Fantastic. You're also giving away a VIP gift. It is how to be a zookeeper, and it's a 6-week course. Is that right?
It's actually a 4-week course.
A 4-week course. Oh, thank goodness I verified that beforehand. Okay, fantastic. So we're going to give away that all to our VIPs. Super excited to have you here with us. Okay, then we're going to go live. So this is what we do beforehand. Make sure we have everything correct. Thank you for playing with me, Nan. I appreciate you. And then we're going to go live. So when it's time to go live, the interview host will make sure that you're ready first. Make sure you're calm and relaxed, and then we will hit go live. The tech host will actually start the session. The attendees will pour in, and the recording automatically begins. We set it up that way so that nobody forgets to record. I've been on events before where they're like, oops, the recording screwed up. Ours is automatic. After the green room, we hit go live, the automatic recording begins. And at the end of the session, it actually ends and we can start uploading the talks immediately. So our sessions are all individual. And so the recordings record end to end and start rendering immediately. Then the tech host will play the intro music. The interview host will welcome the attendees. Super glad to have everybody here. Today we have Nan Nestle, I think it is. I'm going to have her correct me again. Sometimes we screw it up a second time. All right. Super glad to have her here. She's going to be talking about the 10 things you got to do at the zoo. Welcome, Nan. Nan's going to say, great to be here, but it's actually pronounced
Nestle.
Nestle. Okay, great. Thanks so much. Okay, yes, Nestle. Sorry about that. Super glad to have you here. We're going to get into this topic, but before we do, Nan, can you tell us how you became an expert in going to the zoo? And Nan's going to tell her why story. When I was a kid, my parents took me to the zoo and they screwed it all up. They never let me buy the popcorn, and I decided to do a list of 10 things you got to do at the zoo every single time. Okay, fantastic. So let's get into it. What's number one? And we'll go through the 10 things or the 3 things or the 5 pillars or the 6 reasons or whatever it is. Okay. Once you are finished with your content, or in the middle of it, if people ask questions, well, wait a minute, what kind of popcorn should I get? Should I get kettle corn or should I get the regular corn? Okay, great question. Nan, what do you think? And then Nan's going to give her opinion on it, right? We will never bring you a question that will sabotage you ever. We're here to support you and make you look as amazing as possible. This is not a tough grilling interview. This is here to make you shine as an expert, all right? Then at about 20 minutes past the hour or half hour, we're going to move to your downloadable. So Nan, rumor has it that you have this incredible gift for our audience members. It's the 5 things to pack in your picnic basket when you go to the zoo. Tell us what they're going to get in that. And then we're going to drop the link in the chat. My tech host will drop it. They'll drop the title of it and the link. And then after Nan describes it, we're going to say, okay, great. Can you all put a 1 in the chat box if you got that successfully? Can you put a 1 in the chat box if it opened okay on your machine? If you see a purple form that says the 5 things to pack in your picnic basket, once you see that, just put a 1 in the chat. Now, we all know that the link worked, right? We all know that. But the reason we do that is to remind the people on the Zoom to actually take action and do it. This is how it's a benefit to you. This is how we build your list, right? You got 35 people on it and they're like, oh, I'll save the chat later and I'll do it all later. Nope, we want you to do it right now. So go ahead and click on that link and open it right now. So we get a very good percentage of people that actually click on the link and do that because we nurture them into doing that and we have them play with us, okay? Then we're going to move to your VIP gift, and you got an amazing gift for our VIPs. It's going to be this 4-week course that's all about how to be a zookeeper. Super excited about that. So if you haven't already upgraded to VIP, you should definitely do that now. Okay, so up next we have 3 more amazing speakers. It's X, Y, and Z. They're going to be talking about A, B, and C, and we're super excited to look. I don't know which one you're going to choose, but I'm really excited about it. However, before we let you go, Nan, do you have any final words for our crew?
Keep driving. Just don't stop.
Keep driving, just don't stop. Those are words to live by. Thanks so much for playing with us, Nan. And thanks for being here. We'll see you guys back at the top of the hour. I'm Kimberly Crow. Cheers. And then we play the outro music. All right. We will give you one last word of wisdom, even after we talk about the upcoming speakers, because if we don't, you guys will take it anyway. I have learned this after doing many, many summits. People will jump in. They'll be like, during the outro music, they'll be like, oh, one last thing I forgot to say. So we always give you one last word to put a nice little bow on it and tie it up nicely for our audience. And then the outro music plays. And then when the outro music finishes playing, we actually end the session. That's right. You get kicked out. Everybody gets kicked out and they have to choose which session they're going to join next. And the recording starts rendering right away. So our VIPs will get access to the recordings very, very quickly, oftentimes that same night. And it can be midday as well, but hopefully they're watching our summit. They're not watching the replays. Okay. So one of the things I mentioned was that there are 3 speakers coming up next. My summit is actually the exception to that. I only run one track at a time because I'm the only interview host on that. But many of our summits have 2 and sometimes 3 tracks. For Voices of Women, to get 216 women in 25-minute speaking spots on the stage in a single day, which was International Women's Day, we ran 10 simultaneous tracks. That means that the audience members could choose one of 10 ballrooms to go to see one of their speakers. It's really the Zoom rooms, right? So they could see which speaker they were going to have. It actually drives our VIP sales, which actually are commissioned back to you, right? So all of the people that you bring that say, oh my gosh, I've got to see all of the tracks and I want the recordings, when they upgrade to VIP for $47 or $97, you're going to get an affiliate commission back on that. How cool is that? Really cool. Really, really cool. All right. because everybody has like FOMO. They don't want to miss out. And if they've heard your talk, maybe they want to get the recording of that one. And there's so much value given by our speakers that when you attend our summits, a lot of you will be like, yes, I bought your VIP package because it's incredible. If you've been to any of my summits and you bought VIP, put VIP in the chat box. Thank you for buying the VIP. Not only are they going to get the recordings, but they're also going to get VIP packages. Like when I played with Nan, she said she gave away a free 4-week course to our VIPs. Fantastic. Many of you will want to give away a VIP gift like that to our audience. Ideally, it's something that's recorded, something that you don't have to spend money on or time on. Or it could be tickets to an upcoming event. It must be something that you normally charge for. It cannot be another freebie, right? It can't also be your other downloadable, right? It's got to be something that you normally charge for. Ideally, something that you normally charge at least $97 for, because that's what they're paying as the price for the full price ticket. So we often have courses that are $200, $500. Some people give away their $997 courses. I've had people give away their $4,000 courses that they charge $4,000 live. This is the recording of the course, and they're giving it to our VIP people. Fantastic. That's actually in your best interest as well. The VIPs get value from it, right? They get incredible value because they're getting on the Voices of Women's, I'm sorry, in the Badass Women in Business Summit last night, the VIP gift, or 2 nights ago, the VIP gifts total was over $6,000 in VIP gifts. It was incredible. And they got all the recordings from the whole summit. Totally awesome. So very big win for our audience members. Also a win for our speakers. If I participate in and watch Nan's 4-week course on how to become a zookeeper, I am her target market, her ideal target market. Why? Because I'm a buyer. I paid money to be able to get access to it, right? I'm no longer just a freebie grabber. I paid money, and I went to all that huge list of VIP gifts, and I found Nan's, and I started going through it. I am the person she should call first, right? I'm your ideal target person, right? If that's who you are. So fantastic opportunity to be able to do this. Some people have to run because it's over the top of the hour. This is an hour and a half, 90 minutes. If you run, no problem. We will send the recording to everybody who attended, but we're going to answer Q&A live. So for those of you who have questions, please be sure to stay on. I will stay on for as long as you guys have questions and answer them, even if it runs over the 90 minutes, but I do want to get through content for the people watching the recording. Okay, so that's what happens during the summit. After the summit, and we do recommend that you actually show up for a couple of talks before your talk, unless you're the first talk. We recommend that you watch some of the ones before. It will relax you as a speaker to be like, aha, they do follow the formula. I see how this is going to work. I see what I should be doing differently. I make sure I've got to make sure that my link works. Oh, is it an affiliate link? It will remind you and calm you down as a speaker to be prepared watching other people follow that formula. So we do recommend that you watch the summit. You do not have to be there. We don't take attendance and make you stay the whole day. During our in-person events, or during many in-person events, you should be there the whole time. But during the web summits, you do not have to be there the entire time. You can take other calls. You can be on and off. It's totally fine. But we recommend that you participate in it. We do recommend that you attend the wrap-up party. The speakers who come to the wrap-up party connect very, very well with the audience, and it's a love fest. They come on and they're like, oh my God, when Nan dropped those bombs, I was like, yes, that's totally right. Kettle corn is the way to go at the zoo, right? And they're gonna talk about how wonderful you are and how much they learned from you. They'll be like, I took 8 pages of notes when I listened to Kimberly's talk. It was phenomenal. So those kinds of things are great. They'll name you by name, they'll give you love, and then you get to come on the mic and say thank you for that or give additional comments. And if we have time, we actually allow you to get on the mic again and give one additional action item that people can take in the next 7 days in order to take action on your talk. So if your talk is all about meditation and breathing, you can say, take 5 minutes tomorrow morning and remember to do that belly breathing, right? That Buddha belly breathing where you take deep breaths and you expand your stomach. Just if you will do that, that will help you take action on my talk, right? And then we have the audience commit to that by saying, if you're willing to take a Buddha breath tomorrow morning, just put, I will do that in the chat box. A little bit of social proof, but I will do that in the chat box. And people are like, I will do that, right? So it's a great way for them to engage with you and develop relationship with you. Now you already have their email and opt-in because they opted into your stuff. If they did not, and they didn't have a chance to opt in because they didn't see your talk, they were on somebody else's, we run Facebook groups where all of the downloadables are available, along with your talk title and your face, your picture, your link to be able to join your talk, and your downloadable, and also the name of your VIP gift. We also send out, after all of this whole thing is over, we send out a gift giveaway email, which is, here's all the gifts from all of our speakers all in one place. This, because we put your gift in so many different places, that is how it's a win for you. You're winning because you're adding lots of people to your list, because even if they weren't on your talk, even if they didn't upgrade to VIP, even if they didn't watch the recording, they might just grab your gift from one of those other locations. So a win, 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 win. That's what we're all about. Okay. After the summit, your responsibilities are to do one thing. You have to deliver on everything you promised. Okay, so if you told people that you were going to give everyone who signed up a 90-minute session with you, you have to do that no matter how many people sign up, to make accommodation for that. If you gave our VIPs, whatever it is that you gave them, a free review of their website and fix 3 errors, you have to do that for every single VIP who opts in and takes you up on that. If you promised a 6-week course, you got to give them a 6-week course. Now, we know that technology breaks sometimes, and you're, things like, oh, well, I did have that recording, it's not showing properly. That's fine. Get it to them another way. If they're calling us and saying her thing broke and I want it, and I bought the VIP gift so that I could get this, we want you to be able to deliver it, right? If you don't deliver it, it's a lose, lose, lose. It makes us look bad. It makes you look bad, and it pisses off our audience, right? And they didn't get what they wanted. So you got to do one thing after the summit, and that is deliver on everything you promised. Here's a tip. Don't promise anybody 90 minutes of your time for free. Don't do it. Stop doing that. Cut it out. Your time is worth way more than free. Okay. Don't do that, especially to everybody. Now, I do have one-on-one calls. They're very few and far between. It's very hard to get on my calendar for a one-on-one call. You have to go through Mercy to do it. Actually, now you have to go through Kathleen, I think. So because she has a team of people now who are helping me. So you have to get there. It's hard to get on my calendar one-on-one, but I do have one-on-one meetings with my ideal clients, right? Martin's my ideal client. He has done a summit with me. He was going to do a summit with me. We've been on many one-on-one calls, right? Tammy Gross is another one. I have several people that, like, yes, you're my ideal client. Of course, I'm going to spend time with you, but stop giving away your time for free to anybody who wants it. Like, that is a waste of your time. If 60 people upgrade to VIP and all 60 of them decide to take your 90-minute session, you've just given yourself a whole new job, right? Don't do that anymore. Okay. Don't give away stuff that takes your time. Don't give away stuff that takes your money either. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what happens after the summit for you. After the summit for us, our responsibilities are kick into high gear. We've got to get that gift giveaway template all together. We've got to get everything out to our VIPs. We have to answer all the questions that were in the support email line. We have to do all the follow-up with the speaker, the people who had questions during the summit. We have to make sure that everybody got what they needed. We have to follow up with the speakers to make sure that they're delivering. If they didn't deliver, we have to follow up on that. We have, and most importantly, we actually have to return the refunds. The refunds are returned to you within 7 days. Most times they're returned within 48 hours. I get mine back really fast. During a 2-day summit recently, I actually gave day 1 refunds back on the morning of day 2. So I'm like, let's just get them done. We already know who did it. We already know who won the prize and did the things and did what they were supposed to do. We know they didn't break rules. We know they got the minimums, and we know they showed up live. So let's just get rid of them, right? It's better for me just to get it back to you, because I don't want to hear later that I can't remember if I got my downloadable or my deposit back or not. We do not hang on to it. I do not want to keep your money. If I'm keeping your money, it's probably not for a good reason, right? And if we didn't give you a refund right away, please reach out to us and say, why didn't I get my refund? All right. If you no-showed, you already know why. Don't bother to call us. I'm just kidding. But you can call us to apologize. You can call us to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I left your people hanging. I know you had 500 people and I blew it. That'd be cool if you did that. But if you didn't get your minimum number of signups, reach out to us and be like, what can I do? Is there any way I can get my deposit back? Most of our show hosts, all of them are human, and most of them are nice. All of them are nice. I don't work with people who are nice. So you could probably reach out to them. Again, your conversation is going to be super different if you've got 2 signups than if you got really close to the minimum. But definitely reach out to them and see what you can do. We will probably work with you. Okay. Unless you did something really, really bad. Okay. Okay, so that's what we do before, during, and after the summit. Before you get your, you register, you get your confirmation email, you tell us, you know, yep, I got that, I'm able to speak at that time, or whoops, can we move it? That's the one time that I can't do it. And then we get you on the summit, you start promoting. During the summit, we actually do have a speaker information call right before the summit, where we do a prep call to remind you of all the stuff I just told you, answer any final questions that you have, and make sure that you're aligned with the summit, and answer any final questions and talk to you about where you are on the leaderboard and stuff like that. Then the summit goes live. During the summit, you have the interview process, which I gave you the link for, so you know what's going to happen then. After the summit, you have one responsibility to deliver on what you promised. We have all those other responsibilities that I talked about. And then the summit is over and you guys are off and running. Some summits that are not mine will tell you, summits and gift giveaways will tell you this terrible thing. Don't email any of the people for at least 2 weeks. That is bad. That is a lose for you. Do not just run away if you hear that from one of your hosts, okay? The reason why is because they want this clear pathway to email this brand new list of theirs with all their offers and all their stuff. And I get that. But they opted into your email list, and you should be able to mail them your stuff as well, okay? If you do not mail them right away, in fact, we recommend that you mail them right away. If you do not engage with them right away, they're going to forget who you are and why they opted into your list. If you ignore them for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 6 months, then they're going to unsubscribe when they get an email from you, because they won't remember why they opted in. We do actually want you to continue conversation with them. Ideally, you're going to nurture them into a sale and then call us up and tell us that you have affiliate commissions for us, and we're going to be great friends, right? And so that for us is a win, right? My favorite way of making money is when somebody else sells something. That's a great way for me to make money. I love that. I don't have to do anything. You got a new customer and my people are happy. It's a great win for us. Okay. So ideally you are nurturing them into a sale. So don't sign up for those summits or gift giveaways where they say you can't email them for the first 2 weeks after you get their name. Screw that. Okay. I'm done with this content about what happens before, during, and after the summit. I've shared with you how to sign up of interest for the summit. If you missed that, we'll put that link back in the chat. I want to talk about what makes a great downloadable, what makes a great VIP gift. And then we have some other resources for the 102 of you who stayed on this call that are amazeballs, other stages that you can get on to be able to get your talk out there and be able to get seen and heard. I believe if you're not being seen, you're being overlooked. If you're not being heard, your message isn't getting out there. And if you're not consistently getting it out on stages, then it is not going to have the contribution to this world that you want it to have before you leave this planet. All right. Got to get out there. We got to get seen and heard and make sure that our message gets out there, because it's worth telling. Your message can only be told by you, and you're the one that's most passionate about it. So we want you to do that. Okay. What makes a great downloadable? Worksheets, templates, checklists, 10 points, 6 mistakes, 15 things I wish I knew. Those kinds of things make great downloadables. Here's what does not make a great opt-in. My 374-page ebook. Okay. Nobody's going to sleep at night like, oh man, if only I just had a 374-page ebook, my life would be perfect. Okay. So they just don't sell really well. They don't get grabbed very often. They might opt in, but they're not going to read all 374 pages of it. Nice quick hits. All right. So something that's really, really cool. Bonus points if you put a number in it, because our brain wants to know how much and how long, right? 365 days to a perfect social media following, or 48 hours to a brand new YouTube show. 16 things that you need to do before you buy a house. Okay. Those kinds of things are really powerful. So bonus points if you put a number in it. Bonus points if you put your target market's name in it. I have an inspirational journal for women entrepreneurs that gets grabbed like mad on my women's stuff, right? they're opting in because they're like, yes, I want that, right? So women entrepreneurs, those people grab it. So name your target market. Also, 3, give us a noun, right? Tell us what it is. Don't hide it. Don't like make us guess. You know, if it's a checklist, say checklist. If it's a template, say template, right? Tell us the noun. What is it? Okay. All right. What makes a great VIP gift? Tickets to an upcoming event that you already have scheduled. Do not schedule one just because you're going to be on our summit. If nobody opts into it, or if 2 people opt into it, are you really going to hold that event? Okay, you've got to do it because you have to deliver on everything you promised. But if you aren't already going to do it because you have 5 or 10 or 40 people in it already, don't give that one away. Okay. A recorded 6-week course or 4-week course, or a recorded series of meditations that you normally charge for, or something that you've already done and it's packaged up and it's nice and pretty and you don't have to actually put it in the physical mail. Digital products work very, very well. Okay. Things that are on your website for sale, you can work really well. You may not give a discount to anything. You can't say $3 off my $10,000 program. Nope, that's not a VIP gift at all. That's a coupon. No, thank you. All right, you can't do that. It's got to be totally free for our audience. Okay, tickets to an upcoming course. If you tickets to an upcoming event, admission to a course that you're going to be teaching, right? Like I actually have a course that I'm going to be teaching, and if you upgraded to VIP on any of my previous summits, Mercy, this is a reminder to you as well. Make sure that everybody who opted into VIP for BWB, Badass Women in Business, make sure that they get invited to my Launch Your Virtual Stage. Okay, that's a $97 program, actually a $200 program that we're giving away for the $97 VIP price. So I'm going to be teaching that class because I have 70 people registered for it, and I'm giving it away as a VIP gift for the Badass Women in Business that just happened. Okay. All right, but I'm definitely going to teach it. If I don't, if something happens, I got to teach it anyway, right? Like I got to teach it later, something like that, and give the recordings available to people. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to open to see if there were any questions that I missed. Okay, so Mercy says, from Deborah Nielsen, I can't get if I can't get the minimum number of registers and will forfeit the registration cost, you also deny the speaker leads that come in. No, that's Dina, that's a great question. Absolutely not. They opted into your list, you paid the price, you were willing to pay the price, and you did what you said you were going to do. You get those leads are yours. Absolutely. Somebody once asked, do we get the list of everybody that registered for the summit? No, that is a huge violation of GDPR requirements. In case somebody's giving that out, giving somebody else a list of emails or buying emails that did not opt into your list, that is a huge violation of GDPR. But Dina, absolutely. You paid your deposit, you forfeited your deposit, you keep the leads, you keep the accolades, you keep everything else, right? You can come to the you can come to the wrap-up call. People are going to love you. It's going to be great. We're friends. That's awesome. Okay. Fantastic. Deborah says, do you recommend putting a time limit on the free gifts to encourage people to take action? I do not. I don't believe in what we call false scarcity. And I didn't mean that in a negative way. That was a great question, but false scarcity is you have to grab this downloadable in 10 minutes or it's going to be gone. And then next week you get on another summit, and you're like, grab this downloadable or it's going to be gone. Like you're never going to have a chance again. I don't believe in that because it's false scarcity. I do believe in real scarcity. If you have something that is like okay, so a great example is the VIP gifts that I'm going to give to Badass Women in Business. You can come live to my live event, but you can only come live until it's over. And then you can have the recording, right? Because it's live. So that's real scarcity. After that, you can only come, if you miss it, you get the recording. Sometimes I don't give away the recordings at all because I'm like, actually, you can only come live. That is real scarcity. That's true scarcity. On Potapalooza, which we're going to talk about in a minute, Potapalooza is an event where you can come in one day and get on as a VIP. You can upgrade to VIP and you can get interviewed during the event on up to 5 podcasts in private breakout rooms with our podcasters. During the event, you can knock out 5 podcasts in one day, up to 5. Okay. The ticket price is right now $197. There are a limited number of them. Why? Because we only have a limited number of podcasters and we can only get so many on. There's actually a true limit to that. So we can only sell so many VIP tickets. That's true scarcity because there's only so many. There's only so many hours in the day. There's only so many podcasters. There's only so many interviews we can give. Okay. So that's real scarcity. False scarcity is when you just say you got to take action right now or else. Now you can create scarcity by saying, if you don't take if you grab my downloadable today, I will also give you a 15-minute session with me. I don't recommend this, but you could do that, right? But you have to take action today in order to get that 15-minute session. If you opt into my downloadable next week, you will get my downloadable, but you will not get the 15-minute session with me because I'm not doing them then. That's real scarcity. Okay. I only have so many 15 of the first 10 people that sign up, I'll give a 15-minute session to because I'm only opening 15 spots on my calendar. Don't do that. But that is an example of real scarcity. Okay. So I don't recommend creating that scarcity. Okay. So great ideas for, good. I'm glad people are getting great ideas for your VIP offer. Yes. If you ever taught a course before, that is content, right? If you put that up on your website for $97, they can buy the recordings. Then you can give us a coupon for that for free, like a real coupon to take it for free. It's available on your website right now for $97. Somebody might buy it for $97. And now you have a VIP gift to give, right? Cool. Repurposing. I have so much content. I have content coming out of my ears. I give away lots of stuff for free. Okay. Okay, let's talk about some resources that we want to share with you. I actually have several different programs that I want to share with you to be able to get you on stages. Please come to Speakers Playhouse. Speakers Playhouse is every Thursday, today at 10:30 a.m. PST to noon PST. It is the best 90 minutes of your week or your money back. It's a free event. We would love for you to be able to come. It's a huge networking event for people to be able to find stages. I have had people say, like, I filled like my calendar for the next 6 months and I cannot take any more. If you're looking to fill up your speaking calendar, you're going to hear about 40 stages and opportunities along with these stages, these 19 that we just talked about. You're going to hear tons of stage opportunities, places where you can speak on people's podcasts, radio shows, TV shows, web summits, in-person stages, live stages. We've got all kinds of different opportunities for you to speak. It is just a community. And if you have a podcast, you will be able to come to the mic or Clubhouse stage or any stage where you have guest speakers. You will be able to come to the mic and you will be able to share your name, your show title, the types of guests you're looking for, and your contact information to be able to invite people to come speak on your show. Literally, I have had people fill their entire season in 3 sessions of Speakers Playhouse. If you're looking for guests, it's a great place to find guests. Okay. The 4th week, I was like, Shiraz, how come you didn't raise your hand and talk about your stage? And he's like, I'm full for the season. I can't take any more speakers. I filled it up at Speakers Playhouse. Okay. Speakers Playhouse, we're going to go ahead and put that in the chat. Yeah. Or you can just go to speakersplayhouse.com. Both of those work. The one that she just put in there works totally. I also want to tell you about Podapalooza. Oh my God. If you've been to Podapalooza, put Podapalooza Rocks in the chat box. It is a 1-day event. The next time we're doing it is June 17th. It is a 10-hour day. And you as attendees, it's a $5 admission. When you come, you're going to have a 10-hour day full of speakers on the main stage. You're going to meet 40 podcasters that are all going to come in and tell you about their show. They are highlighted as featured podcasters. If you want to be a featured podcaster, send a note to support@speakersplayhouse.com saying I want to be a featured podcaster. I think we're full for this one, but for our next event, we are taking applications for being a featured podcaster on the next one. You'll get introduced as an attendee to all of the featured podcasters, and you'll be able to hear from the main stage speakers all about what makes like how to be a great guest on podcasts, where to find podcasts, how to leverage podcasts, how to monetize from being a speaker on a podcast. We actually had one speaker talking about 100 ways to monetize from guest speaking on podcasts alone. So that speaker is going to be there. Michelle and I both, Michelle is my co-host. She and I both give talks. I'll tell you about the 4 types of stages that every one of you should get on and how to maximize them. And I'm not talking about podcast and web summits. I'm talking about categories of stages that you haven't thought of. And then Michelle talks about how you can launch your own podcast if you want to. And then for our VIPs who upgrade to VIP, thank you for putting that in the chat, Mercy. If you upgrade to VIP for $200, it's 197, I think. You can get a ton of bonuses. Plus, Mercy, this is a new announcement. I'm actually going to give you how to launch your own virtual stage, which is a $200 program. So the price of VIP, you're going to be able to get that right now and you're going to be able to attend it live if you want to, if you upgrade to VIP at Podapalooza. And we're going to be teaching that, I think, on the 24th and 25th of this month. It's a 3-hour session. It's 2 90-minute sessions. And at the end of the session, you will be able to launch your own stage virtually with what you have right now. You do not have to buy podcast platforms or new microphones or anything. We're going to teach you exactly how you can launch a virtual stage with what you have right now. And we're going to talk about how you can expand on that and do other bigger things if you want to as well. So launch your own virtual stage is a phenomenal program. If you upgrade to VIP at Podapalooza, I'm going to give you that as well. And you'll be able to join us for that. So Speakers Playhouse, Podapalooza, our speaker retreat in our speaker retreat in New Orleans, Louisiana is another place where you can get on live stages. It's a 3-day event where we teach you how to do speak to sell, how to get paid speaking gigs. We have speakers coming to talk about that. We have a 7-time TEDx speaker. He's on his 7th TEDx. And he's going to teach you how to land TEDx's, how to leverage TEDx's. We teach you about authority stages, keynote speaking. We teach you all kinds of things. It's very immersive and experiential. You will get on stage and you will be able to have video footage of you on stages for the first time since COVID, maybe for some of you, right? So for those of you who are traveling, we would love for you to come play with us at the Entrepreneurs Speaker Retreat. That would be phenomenal. For those of you who are trying to build your list, I actually have a toolkit giveaway for entrepreneurs. If you serve entrepreneurs, this is a really big list builder. People are getting 600, 700 people added to their list by playing in that. It is a pay to play. It's $197 to be in that. But if you're like, I have a very small list and I'm looking to build it really quickly, and I don't want to do a whole lot of work to do it, we would recommend that you join the toolkit giveaway. If you put toolkit, TOOLKIT, in the chat box, we will get you a link to be able to participate in that. I mail it to my entire list, 36,000 entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, authors, and everybody who participates in it mails it to their list. They may have small lists, they may have big lists, they may have no list, but I mail it to my entire list, and we have hundreds and hundreds of opt-ins for that. So great opportunity to be able to do that. And I would highly encourage you to pull the trigger on at least 2 summits today. So how are you possibly going to choose between all of the summits that are out there? Here's how you choose. Maybe you want to be on all of them. Great, I get it. You want to be on all of them? Wonderful. Here's what I would recommend, not to shoot my own self in the foot, but I would recommend that you sign up for the first one that's coming and the one that you feel you must be on or you're going to die. Okay, so the first one coming that you want to be on and the one that you really don't want to lose out on in case it sells out. Okay, those are the 2 that I would recommend you pull the trigger on today. Again, if you are not accepted, you will get a full refund of both the admin fee and the deposit. If you are accepted and you get all of your things, you will get your deposit back. But just to clarify, you don't get the admin fee back. It actually goes for us to be able to pay to hold the event entirely, right? So it's not free for us to put on these events. Right? I have to pay my team. I actually have a team of 7. Now I have a team of 9. We just added 2 new people. So we have a team in the background. I paid them to be able to serve us during the summit. We pay for the platform. We pay for the technology. We pay for the Zoom links. We pay for all of that. So it's not free for us to be able to put on these events. And so the admin fee helps us offset those costs. But we are not trying to make money that way. The way I make money and the way our hosts make money is by building their list, building their credibility, their authority, and their know, like, and trust. All right, so 102 of you are still here. I can't believe that. It is at time. So we're going to switch to Q&A. But before I send everybody away, if you want to be a summit host and you're like, Kimberly's program, that works for me, I'm in, I want to do what she's doing, I want a summit of my very own, please put, I want to host in the chat box. I have a talk coming up where I teach you how and why you want to be a summit host and how to monetize from it, how to make sure that you're making money from it. And believe me, it's not from those deposits. It's absolutely not. There are ways that you can make. I think Martin's summit netted somewhere around $15,000 or $18,000 from doing his first summit. That was the revenue, not the net. Sorry, the revenue from it was like $18,000. It was incredible. Right. So if you want to host your own summit, phenomenal. We're going to send you a link to be able to join that call. But I don't want to bore everybody else with it because some of you are like, holy crap, I'm just learning about this and I just want to speak. Okay. So I don't want to overwhelm anybody with that. Okay, does anybody have any questions? What I want you to do, if you have questions and you're like, you weren't clear on this, please raise your digital hand. The way you do that is you go down to the bottom, click on the word reactions and click on the word raise hand. And when you do that, you'll get into a digital queue. I will be able to see you. And the rest of this, I'm not planning on teaching anything else, but sometimes people ask a question and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't cover that. So you're welcome to stay on. If you can't stay on, I totally understand. You'll get the recording of these Q&A as well. All right, Carol Lane, you have a question. Thank you for raising your digital hand. What question do you have?
Yes, hi, Kimberly. I missed pieces of your definition of what a web summit is. Could you go over that just quickly?
Absolutely. So we didn't actually go over that. So what a web summit is it's a virtual event that happens, in my case, on 1 or 2 or maybe 3 days. It usually goes between 8 and 10, sometimes as many as 13 hours long. You have different speakers every 25 minutes that come on and speak on a subject of their passion or their expertise. And at the end of their talks, they give everybody a downloadable freebie lead magnet list builder. It's held over Zoom. It's held webinar style. So 2 people talking and the rest of the people are in the chat until the end of the event, in which case on the wrap-up call, everybody comes in one big Zoom room just like this one. So it's an opportunity to share to an audience. Like my audience is entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, authors, right? There's another one that's an audience of badass women. There's another one that's an audience of parents. We have other ones that are brewing right now, audiences of caregivers and their families, or families that need caregiving or something like that. So we have it's for a specific targeted audience, and it's experts who speak to that audience. They happen live. In my case, the speaking spots are 25 minutes each. Sometimes there's 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 speakers to choose from at any given time. Sometimes there's just one. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And I love that you don't know what a summit is and you came and you're like, I want to speak on a summit and find out more. So thank you. If you had a 0 in the chat, and I apologize that you didn't even know what a summit was and I just launched into talking about it. And I apologize if I left anybody behind on that. But yes, thank you for asking that question, Kara. Anybody else have a question? I did see somebody else raise their hand, but it seems to be down now. Anybody else have a question? If you don't know how to raise your digital hand, you can go down to reactions on the bottom and click the words raise hand. If you have a question, you don't know how to do that, just put I have a question in the chat box and I will call on you. Ruth Ann, what's your question?
For us, if you're on a summit and you have your free giveaway for everybody who attends, and I've promoted it to my list, I realize there'll be a lot of people on the summit who or not on my list, who are someone else's list, but people on my list have already gotten, they probably got on my list by getting my downloadable. So for a summit, should I have a different downloadable that I know my list has never gotten, so that, you know what I'm saying? Because they've already gotten that. So that's not a win for them, so to speak. So,
That is an awesome question. I have two answers to that. One, you don't need another downloadable. People will actually grab it again because they're like, oh, I love Ruth Ann's downloadable. Let me grab that again. And it'll be at the top of their email and they might take action on it this time instead of forgetting about it and having it disappear. So that's
Oh,
answer number one. Answer
point.
number two is absolutely you should have more than one downloadable. I have like 15. All right. I rotate them around. I use this one for this audience, that one for that audience. If I'm speaking on a women's summit, I do the inspirational journal for women entrepreneurs. I have another one that's what I wish I knew. I did interviews with 15 six-figure earners. And I was like, tell us what you wish you knew before you started in entrepreneurship. And all of them told they're like, oh my gosh, if only I'd known this, right? It's really, really valuable. That's not available on my website, but I give it away every once in a while on a summit, especially if I'm on a summit for new entrepreneurs,
Mhm.
right? If I'm on a summit for speakers, I have another one that's fantastic called, and we should put this one in the chat box right now. Mercy, can you put my 10 things in the chat box? So this is 10 surefire ways to engage your virtual audience. You all need this if you're speaking on anything virtual. So this is 10 surefire ways to engage your virtual audience to take action. And it's a downloadable that you opt into it. And then it's a very good example of a downloadable as well, because when you opt into it, if you guys want to click on that link, I'll just give a quick coaching on this. When you click on that link, you're going to get, I don't know if it's popping up. Yeah, it's popping up. Okay, so you're going to get this really cool guide. You're going to put in only your name and email address. You can put in only a first name if you want. We don't even, you don't need their last name. You don't need it, right? You just need their email address. So I'm going to put Kimberly S. Crow, and then I'm going to complete the order. It says it's 0, grab our free guide, right? It's all I had to do in order to get it. But the next page is not actually it. The next page says, yay, it's on your way. Check your email for this amazing resource. But take me to the Speakers Playhouse Facebook group or sign me up for Speakers Playhouse. So now I've given them 3 different things they can do with one email. All right. Now, if you scan down here, you can actually get to the PDF directly, or I'm going to tell you why it's even better if they open it in their email in just a sec. Here's the 10 surefire ways to make sure that your audience stays engaged and takes action. I'm not going to open it on this, but for those of you who open it, when you scroll through it, you'll be like, holy crap, Kimberly did like 7 out of 10 of those on this call alone, right? I definitely do whatever I can to keep my audience engaged. Why? Because audiences who are engaged during the call will actually click on your link at the end of the call. Okay, that's, you want them to take action at the end. Like if they're putting ones in the chat box, those are the people who are going to click on the link and do something. So whatever your call to action is. Okay, so that's why you want it. But when you go to your email, you're going to go to your email and there's going to be an email that says, thanks for offering it here. Thanks for opting in. Here it is. Right. And when you open the email, it says, click here to get the PDF. So what that's actually done for me when you do that is it increases my open rate and it increases my click-through rate. So my engagement rate for my email provider, when they measure my statistics, is increased because people are opening my emails, which means they have value, and they're clicking on them, which means they have a lot of value. So spam filters rate me very well because more people are opening my emails than deleting them, and more people are clicking on my emails than not clicking on them. Okay, so if you guys do it that way and set it up so that you have other offers and then, hey, go to your email to get this resource, and they open it and then they click on it to get it, win, 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 win.
That's awesome. Thanks. Yeah, I like the, having an opt-in that you can rotate around depending on your audience, because even though your overall message is the same, you still have different kinds of audiences. And then I actually just makes me think that I need to change my, thank you for opting in page before they go to their email, where say, oh, well, you'll get this email with the link, but also sign up for my Facebook group. Great tip. Thank you.
Awesome.
Awesome.
For those of you who do not have a mail provider and a software that helps you create affiliate links, I highly recommend Thrivecart. I have an affiliate link for Thrivecart, and it's a one-time fee of $700 you never pay again. What I love about Thrivecart is I'm allergic to monthly fees. And when you sign up for ClickFunnels, it's either 97 or 197 per month to be able to use their platform, and you pay forever, right? If you want affiliate links, you have to pay 197 every month. And that's, like we just talked about, having affiliate links so that you can track where your stuff comes from. If you want to, I actually have a Thrivecart walkthrough. That's a class that I teach. I think it's $49, and it's coming up. Mercy, can you put that link in the chat? And then also my link to my, if you guys want to check out Thrivecart, the link that I have is a one-time fee link. I think if you go to the general link, it's a yearly fee of $700, still totally worth it. But if you use my link, it's actually one-time fee, $700 forever. Totally awesome. So if you guys want to do that, Mercy, if you can throw my Thrivecart, it's actually entrepreneursrocketfuel.com/thrive. Yeah, she just grabbed it. And if you grab that, it's just one-time fee for $700. And if you do the walkthrough, I will give you there's an opportunity there to get, if you buy Thrivecart through my affiliate link, I will give you 3 of my highly converting funnels. One of them is a downloadable link. It's the one that you just saw. I actually give you that, and you just substitute out your language and your pictures, and then it works on your Thrivecart. You get the downloadable link. You also get the link for a product, a program or service. I can't remember which one I give on that one, but it's a product. You just swap out your product for it, a coaching program or whatever you sell. And the third one is a speaker registration form. So if you have a podcast or something and you're like, I need speakers, it's a speaker registration form for them to be able to opt into that. If you have a CRM that you love, awesome. You can also come to the Thrivecart walkthrough, because I walk through some best practices that I do on Thrivecart that actually show you what you can do on your own program. So if you have Kajabi, or you have ClickFunnels, or you have whatever programs you have that are your shopping carts, you might want to come to that as well. It's $49, and I teach for 3 hours on how to be able to create affiliate links and why you need that kind of thing, and how to help with that. So I think Mercy put that in the chat box. I don't know what dates they are, because I teach all kinds of different things. I also teach one on how to be an audiobook narrator and voiceover artist. If you ever want to do that, it's super fun. So yeah, I teach on a lot of different things, and it's super fun. I would love to have you guys opt into that if you care to. And yeah, it's awesome. Any other questions? I see Deuce has a question. Hi, Deuce. How are you?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
But I was about to ask something different, but since you're talking about the Thrivecart, I was wondering, do they have allow you to have the email list through them also? And is there like a number or cap or anything on it?
No cap. Everything's
For
unlimited
automated.
with Thrivecart. Everything's unlimited with Thrivecart. Unlimited affiliate links, unlimited number of opt-ins, unlimited number of products. They actually bolted on an entire learning management system. So for those of you who use the Thinkific or whatever, it's included in the one-time fee. It's incredible. Wow. Totally unlimited number of products, unlimited number of courses, unlimited number of everything. What it does not have is mailing software. So I use ActiveCampaign.
Oh.
I recommend ActiveCampaign, and I have an affiliate link for that one as well. But you can use MailChimp, or you can use spreadsheets. You can use whatever you want. Thrivecart does capture the email, but it doesn't help you email. So it's sort of like you can download you can download all the opt-ins, and you can put them on a spreadsheet, and then you can do something with them, but it doesn't actually mail for you. It's not a MailChimp or an ActiveCampaign.
Okay. Can you add your link for that emails action that you do?
ActiveCampaign. Yes, it's entrepreneursrocketfuel.com/active. Mercy, if you want to put that one in the chat box, that's awesome. Zoho is a CRM. I think that's Google's CRM. I have used that in the past. It is a good basic form. It's fairly inexpensive. I don't love it because I can't manipulate it as much as I want to, but it's a great basic one. MailChimp is another really great basic one. I think both of those have advertising on them, and if you want to upgrade past that, it gets expensive fast. I recommend ActiveCampaign because it's the cheapest I've found at the beginning, and it stays scalable for me. I have, I think, 30,000, 36,000, 37,000 email addresses in mine. I have jillions of products in ActiveCampaign, and I still pay, I think, somewhere between 97 and 175 per month or something like that for it. I buy it annually, so I don't know what the monthly fee is, but it's still, even at my level, fairly inexpensive for me. I don't love monthly fees, but this one is scalable, and ActiveCampaign is a workhorse. Infusionsoft is kind of at the top. For me, that is like bringing a cannon to the knife fight, right? Infusionsoft is also named Confusionsoft. They renamed it Keep. So many people called it Confusionsoft. It can do everything. It is a huge powerhouse, but you kind of got to be a tech guy or girl to be able to pull it off. There's a lot to it. And so I don't actually recommend that one. Keep changed, again, they changed their name because they didn't want to be called Confusionsoft anymore. And they tried to simplify it as well. So the newer version of it might be better, but I think it still gets really expensive pretty fast. And the numbers at the higher end, at my end, are significant. So just watch out for your pricings on those. But yeah, really good questions. Really, really good questions.
Those were actually not the questions I wanted to actually ask. That just came because you were just talking about that software you use. The question I wanted to ask is that I just found you maybe like a couple days ago and I signed up for this. Is this like friendly for very, very new starting phase people? Because when I say new, I mean maybe 2 months in. I've been doing created a course and just started putting it out there, and I'm actually getting clients, and it's like, oh, I might want to do a little more of this. So I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I did sign up for some, I guess I'm getting an email for the information for some of those summits. Is that what's going to happen?
Awesome. Yep. You're going to get a ton of emails as soon as you press the next button, and they're all going to get emails about that you were interested in their summits. And then you're going to start a conversation to talk about it. Then you're going to register for it, pay your money, and start talking on summits and be able to start building your list. That is a fabulous way to build your list and get started. As a speaker, I built all of my lists through summits, through speaking on summits, and through being not literally all, because I also participate in toolkit giveaways and things like that. But speaking is an incredible way to grow your know, like, and trust with people. Now that you've seen me, you either like me or you don't, right? You're like, I get who Kimberly is, right? Some of you think I'm fun. Some of you think, holy shit, that lady talks really fast and I can't even follow her, right? Like I could never work with her, right? And that's okay. That's totally okay. On a Facebook ad, if I posted a bunch of Facebook ads and said, come speak on my summit, you wouldn't know anything about me. But now that you've heard me, because I've spoken, you have built your know, like, and trust with me. You understand more about me. So speaking is a phenomenal way to cut through all of that. By the way, it takes about 8 to 12 touches to be able to get somebody to convert to a client on average. So speak on podcasts, speak on web summits, get on Facebook Lives, send out downloadables, get on toolkit giveaways, speak on other people's stages, get out there in a variety of different ways. The only thing I don't recommend for a new person such as yourself is Facebook ads. You can spend a lot of money really, really fast and, max out your credit card.
Yeah, I'm definitely doing the organic style. I'm not, and the interesting thing, the interesting irony is that I'm an introvert. And though I used to teach at college communications and stuff, so I want to get onto a platform and kind of do my talk to people in that space too. I don't know if you have summits like that where they talk maybe like to educators who want to connect with their students and student engagement. I didn't see that on the list there, but it might be something coming up.
You're going to have to host your own summit for that. It's going to be phenomenal. I'm just teasing you. We probably do. We have a lot of the folks that we serve entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, authors, those kinds of people, or parents. We don't have a lot of corporate people or people who are in education. The reason why is honestly, they don't watch summits as much as other people do. Sometimes, like, people at corporate don't often spend, like, I don't know if you've all had corporate jobs. I had a corporate job, right? I didn't spend 2 days watching something online. Right? I went to a conference, right? For a conference in my business niche, and we do promote them there. But oftentimes you won't see those people. So same thing with education, unless you have it on a Saturday or Sunday, oftentimes you're not going to be able to grab those people because they're working.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I'm not going to hold the mic anymore. I did sign up for the Facebook group, so I'll see you in there.
Awesome. Hope to see you at 10:30 in like an hour and a half at Speakers Playhouse. You'll see the crazy. If you think this was fast, wait till you see Speakers Playhouse. We moved there.
I'm going to try, but I have a call in about 10 minutes, and then I got some more clients I got to get to. So I'll see if I can.
That'd be great. It's every Thursday. And it's a great opportunity for everybody to get on the mic. We get our stage hosts on first, and then we give away a program every single week for speakers. That's a $200 value. We give away a new program every week from one of our partners. And then from there, you can join that. And then after that, we actually give an opportunity for everybody to get on the mic and share their talk title and then their target audience. All right. So they come on and they're like, I'm Kimberly. I speak on the 4 types of stages every entrepreneur should get on, and I speak to the speakers and entrepreneurs. And then you put your contact information in the chat. But it's super fast paced, fun. We give away bonus points. It's like very, very, it's full of goofballery. If it's not fun, it's not worth doing. That's my motto. Sue's been there before. Sue Pats is a regular now. All right. Anybody else have questions? All right, this has been a little slice of heaven being with all of you. Thank you very much for hanging out with me till the bitter end. If you have any questions, you can email our support line, which is support@erfsummit.com. That's support@erfsummit.com. We also have support at Speakers Playhouse. If they drop that link, any of those will work. Super glad that you guys were able to join us, and I will see you all on the mic. I'm Kimberly Crow. Cheers.